All right. How's everybody doing today? This is 3 Second Tan. I'm one of your hosts, Motormouth, DJ Motormouth, and we are going to discuss all things WWE like we always do. From Monday Night Raw, SmackDown, pay-per-views, all 12 of them. I mentioned before that this is a new podcast, blogcast I call it. So we're starting from the ground up. Don't have that many views. We don't have that many subscribers. But it's okay because we will. I'm persistent and I'm going to get your attention whether you like it or not. I am determined to make this show a success. So I'm going to need your help. I can't do it without you. I need y'all to like, subscribe, and definitely share whatever you need to do. Get this out there, y'all. So, the topic today is rate that wrestler. Rate him. Love him, hate him. Is he good? Does he suck? Talk to me about who you think is worthy of the WWE Championship, who is IC belt material, who is USA belt material. Should they bring the cruiserweight back? I mean, should they have a hardcore championship belt? I certainly think they should. Bring as many belts as you can. I mean, come on. We have like 4 belts. It would be cool to have about 8 or 9 belts. I mean, come on, you got a roster, you got like a 50-man roster back there. You know, only a couple of them get to shine and come out on Monday Night Raw, and only a few of them get certain pushes. You know, so it would be cool to see all your favorites with a belt. You know, I mean, come on, like it just doesn't make sense to have all these guys back there and you never see them. They never come out. They're not getting pushes. You know, you don't even give them a chance to get over. You know, and a lot of these guys have potential. There's a lot of good characters and a lot of good wrestlers back there on the roster, and they're not getting any shine. You know, so I would love to see them bring a couple belts back, like the hardcore, the European, cruiserweight would be cool. Even though they're having some type of competition for the cruiserweight belt. This WWE, the Facebook page has been posting about it, so it's definitely, I'm not breaking any news here. But yeah, I would like to know who you think is worthy of the WWE Championship. Who's a main event guy? I mean, if you listen to any of my of our shows, then you would know that I'm the biggest Seth Rollins fan out there. That's my guy. Seth Rollins is going to make WWE cool again, like Stone Cold did in the 90s, the Attitude Era. I would love to see WWE, you know, go away from PG, which is what they are, to going back to, you know, maybe PG-13 and have some more, be allowed to curse. Can we, see some girls in some bikinis again, and see some boobs bouncing around? That was pretty cool. But WWE decided that they wanted to expand their fan base and go from 5-year-olds all the way to 55-year-olds. And in order to do that, you're going to have to take away the the nude and all the profanity that they had going on in the Attitude Era. So we'll see about that. But yeah, I want to hear what y'all have to think about, the current state of WWE, what direction they're headed. Do you think they're going upwards, or do you think they're trending down? Honestly, I think they're trending up. I think it's about to be a pretty huge movement in WWE coming up. They got the brand extension, which I truly believe that Shane's going to end up running SmackDown. Raw is going to be ran by Stephanie, which is going to bring out Triple H, and the Authority thing is going to come back, but this time I'm guessing it's going to be a different group. Rollins is not going to be part of the Authority. I personally think that Kevin Owens is going to join Triple H and Stephanie as their guy. But we'll have to wait and see. It's a process. You got to trust the process. Sit back, kick off your shoes, and watch the story unfold. That's what I do, you know. Why sit there and complain about, oh, this and that, when you have no say and you have no power over what's going to happen? Creative has a job. They have decisions to make, and that's what they do. Whether we like them or not, you still watch it. So just stop complaining. Watch the show. Go ahead and go to our channel, 3 Second Tan. Drop some comments, like, and definitely subscribe. All right. We're gonna take a short break, and I'll be right back with some more. All right, we're back. 3 Second Tan. One thing that I realized I went from saying, oh, this topic is about rate that wrestler, and then I went on to saying Seth Rollins is going to make WWE cool again. I went off to saying Authority is coming back, and Kevin Owens is going to be the guy. I talked about the brand extension. We talked about Monday Night Raw, talking about SmackDown, talking about pay-per-views and live events. Well, one thing I did realize about the show is that we're going to end up being all over the place, all right? There's a lot to talk about, and we don't have that much time. Father Time is unbeatable, so we got to try to keep up, okay? We're going to talk about anything and everything. Whatever's on my mind, I'm going to talk about it, and you can drop a comment if you want and discuss, or if you want to talk about anything. It's an open forum, all right? So just come out there and just give me some feedback on whatever. I obviously, since I'm all over the place, something that continuously sticks in my head is the obvious brand extension, which is coming up. So, I'm just very curious, and I like to make predictions because I have this thing about predicting, because I'm always predicting the stuff right. I called it. I called that. I've called so many things, So we're just gonna end up doing predictions. That's why not. That's what we do. You know, every time there's a main event, and we're making predictions. Oh, I want this guy to win. I'm predicting he's gonna win. I'm predicting he's gonna win. So, what do you predict? Do you think who do you think? Do you think the brand extension is going to be a success? I do. I do. Think about it. Has WWE ever failed? You know, um, they're a multi-billion-dollar industry, a well-oiled machine, ran by a one of the greatest businessmen out there. Very underrated, if you ask me. Vince is a he's definitely a big dog. He sits at the big table, you know what I mean, with the big boys. He's no scrub at all. This guy, he took the company from from inherited the company, he bought it from his father, and he turned it into something that is still here today. And that was maybe 30, 40 years ago. You know, I have the WWE network and I love it. I watch it all the time. I mean, it's on right now. I'm skimming through it trying to figure out what to watch. Should I go back and watch things from the 90s? Should I search a certain person's name and watch all of his matches? That's pretty, yeah, that's what I do. I'm type in Seth Rollins and just watch all of his matches and feuds that he had, because you'll be surprised. There's a lot of stuff that you may have missed, and you go back and you can watch any of them, man. And it's always, that's very cool to me. I love the WWE network, and I can't wait for Sunday for Money in the Bank. That way Rollins can win the belt and reclaim. That's what he came to do, man. Rollins didn't lose the belt. Yeah, you can make the argument about Brock. Well, Brock didn't lose the belt either. But Brock is MIA. Brock decides to clock in and clock out whenever he wants. And it's just a job to him. This is Seth Rollins' life. He's been doing this since he was a kid. He was determined to be the guy. He went to NXT, and he was the first NXT champion. He went to WWE, debuted on Survivor Series with the Shield, and he ended up, to me, being the guy on the Shield. Roman was the muscle, but Seth Rollins was the mind. Seth Rollins had it. That's why Triple H said, "Look, man, you're gonna take that back to Roman, that chair. to the back of Roman, and you're coming with us. We're gonna take you to the top, and that's what the Authority did for, or the Authority. That's what the company did for Seth Rollins. They chose him to be the guy because he had every single thing that you want as your wrestler. For example, here's one thing that is very important. You want, you know, like CM Punk, they wanted during Vince McMahon's whole steroid accusations and that scandal about him, giving his wrestlers steroids so they can get bigger, and so they had a bunch of meatheads, nothing but meatheads they had. I say, but if you put Rollins as the face, you're gonna get that the guy that, when you look at him, you feel like, yeah, I can be that guy. You see Roman and Ryback and all these muscle bound guys. You look at him, you're like, I wish. Gee, I wish I had what you had. I have the drive that you have, or I mean, some people are just blessed to have those type of stature, those type of bodies, man. Of course, you can go to the gym every day and work out, and and you'll be fit and toned, and you have a lot of, you'll be nice and healthy, but you're not gonna look like those wrestlers. Guys are like six, most of them, I bet you are over 6 feet. They have, you could probably name the guys that you think are probably 6 feet. Kalisto, Neville, no, they're not champion. They're not champions. If you put Seth Rollins in there like they did CM Punk, after Vince McMahon was going through the era of this what I just mentioned about the steroids, he used CM Punk as the face of WWE, so he can so he can clean face. You know what I mean? He wanted to kind of take away from that and say, look at our champion. You could tell he's not on steroids. Seth Rollins is not on steroids. Seth Rollins, he doesn't probably work out like Roman and Ryback. Seth Rollins he does CrossFit, and to me, I mean, I've tried CrossFit, and it's freaking hard. It's hard. It's hard. You gotta have, man. Gotta have it in you, man, to keep going. I lasted a couple months, but then I just quit. I quit. I don't know why. I should have stayed. But I'm definitely going to get my ass back into the gym pretty soon, so I could start, training to be a WWE wrestler. So yeah, we're just gonna stop that right there. But like I was saying, Seth Rollins is going to win the belt. The Authority picked him. Vince McMahon picked him. Vince McMahon was probably losing sleep. Who should I pick? Seth Rollins or Roman? Oh, Triple H is right. Seth Rollins has it all, but oh my God, look at Roman. I mean, well, how can you not? Vince, stop it. Stop it, Vince. Stop pushing Roman like that, man. You can't do it right now. It's you tried, and for almost 2 years, his pop just started getting, worse. I mean, it's yeah. Of course, he's polarizing, which definitely you want. Oh yeah, okay, he's polarizing. Some love him, some hate him. That's great too, but what about the guy that gets a pop from it? I mean, a cheater from every single body. Does WWE even have that? Yeah, they do. Dean Ambrose gets cheers. His pop wasn't like it was, maybe 5 months ago, man. Dean Ambrose had the biggest pop in WWE, if you ask me. And then Roman had a nice pop, but it was nothing. Rollins is very polarizing. Seth Rollins is a polarizing figure in the WWE. You know what I mean? He's over 6 foot. He is in great shape. Long hair. They got the beard. He's a good-looking guy. You put Seth Rollins as a champion like you had it, and he's to me, I think Rollins is the best in-ring wrestler. And then AJ Styles is probably next, or who knows, man? If we get to see these guys more often, we'll be able to, scout and look at their in ring and see who really can wrestle and who's just there, you know, grateful to be there, and who's just collecting a check, and who's determined, who wants to be the guy. A lot of people think, or they say they want to be the guy, but when it comes down to it, they'll be scared as shit. They don't want that. Seth Rollins wants it. Dean Ambrose wants it. Roman Reigns wants it. John Cena has it. You know, Bray Wyatt, he wants it. The Shield. The Shield. Don't forget about the Shield. They'll be back. They'll be back, man. I honestly think the Shield will reunite. It's coming, y'all. I'm telling you, man. They're planning. They already plan. I feel like they just planted the seed, man, just by having, them out there on Ambrose Asylum all together. And then, man, if Dean Ambrose wins the Money in the Bank and it's not KO like most people are probably predicting, then watch. It's because they're just keeping, like I said, like I mentioned, the term out of sight, out of mind. That's not what they're doing with the Shield. They're keeping them in sight, so that's keeping them in mind. Everybody's, they still talk about the Shield. It was probably one of the best things that was happening at that time, and that was like also something that probably can't be done. That was up there with the Yes Movement, what the Shield did. And that's why I feel like that storyline's still continuing, because all three of those guys come out every Monday and every Raw and every SmackDown. You see those guys; they're never MIA, And they also have the biggest contracts. Dean Ambrose gets over $1 million a year. Rollins and Roman get $2 million a year. Brock gets about $5 million a year. And John Cena gets John Cena gets paid the most. He gets $9 million a year, and most of that definitely comes from merchandise. That's why I say he's very smart. He may not have been able to. He went Hollywood, but John Cena wasn't able to do what Rock did because he just didn't have that much charisma, and he wasn't, he didn't look better than hey, I'm comfortable in my own skin. I can sit there and say that, in a business sense, And the better you look, man, the better movies you can be in, and the better you act. Rock is way better actor than John Cena, but I do think that John Cena, man, he brings so much to the company. He WWE. When he retires, he's still gonna be there. He said it. He's like, WWE is my life. And it's true. And I see it, man. I believe him, man. The guy is tremendous. You know what I mean? He had to step on a lot of toes to get his way to the top, which is why a lot of guys don't like him. Maybe they mended, the situation and they're cool again. But the last time I heard, John Cena had real life issues with Randy Orton, The Rock, a few of Bautista, a lot of guys. You know, he was probably the hall monitor in WWE. He went back and told Vince everything. Oh, well, this guy's taking steroids. This guy's just got here and his match starts in 15 minutes. Or, things like that. Or, oh, well, that's why John Cena made it to the top. And that's why he could lose a match with AJ Styles. And he won't lose no credibility. He'll probably get respected more because it would end up being one of the match of the year. And even if you lose a match, if you get voted for match of the year, you're a winner. John Cena is in a win-win situation with this feud with AJ Styles. Now, like I told you, AJ Styles is 39 years old. It's a damn shame that it took him this long to get to WWE. He had to he had to go to overseas in Japan and all those places. And I was like, John Cena said, I won 15 titles here. AJ Styles went in Japan and won way more than me. Man, AJ Styles is a legend. He's a legend, which makes it, maybe that's why they made him go heels, that way he could fight Cena. But going heel was probably the right thing to do with him, man, because he can go heel or babyface and they'll still love him. Some guys, you just some it don't work for some guys. AJ Styles, from the moment I watched the Royal Rumble, and he came out the third entrance, and I witnessed something that was very unique and different. AJ Styles chants all night from, and I'm like, well, who I didn't even know who the guy was, but with the pop that he got, I was like, okay, I paid attention to. He was the only person that I was watching during the Royal Rumble. I wanted to see his skill, his in ring and this and that, but which really he couldn't show that much because the ring gets crowded with 5-10 guys, and you're not able to, do certain moves that you normally would in a solos match. But AJ Styles was, man, he's he's about to get pushed for the belt. I think Vince was, back then Vince would have, oh, two best wrestlers. Oh, we're gonna wait and build it up till WrestleMania. Nah, that's not what they're doing now. I think Shane and Stephanie, and I think they convinced Vince McMahon to, hey man, we got, because they were mentioning, oh, these are main event worthy matches on Money in the Bank. And then you're going to have more main event matches with AJ versus Rollins, even though they're both heels. Kevin Owens versus Roman Reigns. John Cena versus Dean Ambrose. They got a lot. They can juggle a lot of good cards, man. There's gonna be a lot of good cards coming up in this near future. You got to think about it, man. They have they have a lot of good wrestlers, man, and they're just so good at building it up. That's what Monday Night Raw is basically for them to create the promos and start editing certain things, and that way they can build up the match. Because if you do watch pay-per-views, you always know it is the build-up. They always show the build-up to it, and they edit it, and that's the excitement. They call it's entertainment excitement. That's what I like to call it. Entertainment excitement. I like that. You know? But back to AJ Styles, because I digress. AJ Styles is 39. There's no waiting. You have to get this guy now. You have to put him up there against Roman. Well, they botched that. I can't believe. Well, oh my God, I'm still in shock that Roman beat AJ Styles twice. That was definitely a fluke. But when AJ Styles gets his shot at the WWE Championship, he's going to win. He's going to win unless it's against Rollins. That's why I'm wondering. I'm like, where are they gonna go? When's AJ gonna get his shot? When Kevin Owens gonna get a shot next. Like I say, they have a lot of good cards, man. So by SummerSlam, you never know. They might have AJ Rollins and then Kevin Owens versus Roman Reigns, and there's gonna be a lot of good stuff, guys and gals. I hope you're paying attention to that. I hope I'm real observant. That's why I like to watch. I watch everything. I'm a people watcher. That's one of my hobbies. We're gonna go ahead and call it a day. Call it a rant. It's a Ron rant. So give me your feedback. Please drop comments. Don't forget to subscribe, and definitely share this all over the place. Let's get this up. Thank you for everyone that listened, and This is 3 second 10. We're out.